Well, I mean, previous 5 weeks have been pretty period good signs, but it seemed like a sort of revert back to the bad old days.
Oh yeah, that's a fair call. I reckon this time last year, if that had happened at half time though, I don't reckon we would have fought like we did in the second half. It wouldn't have been a pretty game in the second half, which was what we're trying to do. But no, I think it's different. I think we got overwhelmed early by Collingwood's pressure, which they're back. The centre bounces, we conceded 7 goals, I think, to half time, something like that, which, you take that out. You don't know. The game's sort of over at half time. Those two things in particular were the two main things that we didn't manage at all. But the second half, we tried a few different things. We put Duggo on ball. Ruben went back. We lost McGovern. We lost Petruccelli. I know they lost a few as well. Probably played differently than how we've been playing lately, which is not ideal, but they managed it better, and we won the last quarter. So, yeah, we're disappointed, and we don't think we took a step back in the sense that everything we've done the last 5 weeks is worth nothing. It's just we've played a really good side, and we got touched up in the first half.
So when you're addressing the players post-match, are you talking more about the positives of the second half?
I said exactly what I just said then. So at half time we said, let's not get to the end of the game and talk about our learnings. Let's do it now. And let's stand up a little, dig a bit deeper. Because the general play contest was something we've been pretty good at. But in the first half in particular, we were really poor. So we couldn't handle that either. So they committed as much as they could, and we saw a little bit of growth. But I think Collingwood probably knew the game was won as well, and they probably took the foot off the pedal a little bit.
Do you have an update on Jeremy McGovern at all?
No, I know he's gone off to hospital. So I think he got a knock just before half time. I think it was before half time. And no, I don't know.
We've heard reports of potential internal bleeding. Has anything like that come across your?
I don't know. No, I can't give it. I don't want to throw things out that I don't really know. So I know he's not good enough to come back on, and he's got a knock. So I can't give you any more.
Jack Petruccelli as well with that ankle. You tried to run it out by the looks of it.
It might be a tiny syndesmosis, but we don't really know. So we thought we could get him back, but we didn't want to risk it. So it put us on the back foot a little bit, especially with Collingwood's speed. We missed him.
You spoke about those goals from centre clearances. The question was how you were going to go during the week without Yo, and you've previously spoken about relying on too few.
Yeah.
Was that a case again? You were just waiting for someone like a Kelly to stand up, and those guys just couldn't in that first half?
Yeah, maybe. I think it happens. Yo would have been good for us. I think their premiership midfield, premiership backline were out there. And we don't want to rely on Yowie, but we need him. He's probably our best player, so he helps others around. But no, I think it was a little bit of method as much as talent. We sort of got rolled in it. I'll let him in.
No.
Is all good? Yeah. So there's lots of things about centre bounces. There's off the line, your wingers, it's your craft inside, it's your rucks, and everything we tried didn't work. I thought Duggo going in there in the second half helped the situation, and maybe our players learned a few things from the first half as well.
I think overall, the figure, I think it was 11 goals from stoppage that Collingwood got overall, not just centre bounce, but that I guess gives you a lot to sort of ponder during the week as well, doesn't it?
I think we'll look at the 7 goals, 2 from centre bounces. Yeah. Like if you concede 5 goals for the rest, it's probably average, isn't it? So, and it happened in 2 quarters, probably 1 quarter and a bit. So, yeah, as much as it's alarming that we couldn't stop it, that's just the reality.
It doesn't get any easier. They got Melbourne next week as well, and they're coming off a bigger break, and this is where they're strong as well. Are you hopeful that Yo will play?
Yeah, hopeful. Not fully sure. We just can't go down the pit too much. We know, unfortunately, where we're at and the build we're on. We're going to have some really good days, and there's going to be some days or halves where you're going to be disappointing, but we just can't fall back into the feeling sorry for ourselves. So just got to put the next foot forward, recover as well as we can. Next player comes up, and we hit Melbourne with everything we got.
You looked earlier like, did you send Sheed to Dacos early a little bit, especially those stoppages, to try and curtail him, or was that just how it sort of laid?
No, I think Duggo tried to do a bit of a job in the second half, and I think he probably did a reasonable job. You know, a lot of the damage is done. It's really hard to tag in the centre as well. But yeah, obviously he had a good game like he does every week. But I thought Duggo did okay in the second half.
Do you debut? Did you like a couple of little flashes?
Yeah, I mean, when you have 13 inside 50s in the first half, you're not going to see a lot of him. But he kicked a goal. He's probably involved in 4 score chains. Could have kicked 2. And if with Petch going down, you know, Brocky being unavailable at the moment, he'll play next week.
And I guess, I mean, one of the bright spots as well, I guess, was the performance of some of the defenders, like Barras McGovern before he went from Hoff on Hill was pretty good.
Yeah, I think Hoff's having a great year. He'll look pretty dangerous still, and I know they were really light on for their mature age forwards, so they look just as sharp as the rest of the boys. So they had some good supply. So I thought our backs, you know, they've been pretty good for most of the year. I mean, the last 3 weeks, I think we've conceded close to 60 plus inside 50s for the last 3 weeks, and they've held up really well. So one of our major goals in the next couple of weeks is to reduce that. You know, I think the supply is just sort of, I think it was 30 odd something against Gold Coast, 44 last week, and I don't know if we got 40 this week. I don't think we did. So our backs are doing a lot at the moment.
When that first half, when you were struggling to get it forward, you played Liam Ryan in the waffle at halfback. Did you contemplate
Spoke
sending
about
him
it,
back?
yeah, we did. In fact, I was going to do it start of the last. I said I'll bring him off and then bring him back on as a back, and then he kicked a goal. And I thought, well, and I thought there's just a couple of signs there that Liam was getting back to, you know, the groove of the game. We're pretty patient with him. He's been out for over 12 months, so definitely considered it, but I'm not quite sure it would have changed too much. But yeah, it's definitely there for us to use if we need to.
Do you now look back at the waffle game yesterday? Got a bit of a touch up there as well. Is there much you can call on to try and bring in to get some confidence going through some of the players?
Oh, no, well, we'll talk about it next week on Monday. We'll look at the form of some of our younger players. Maybe Yo's back, maybe Waterman. You know, they'll help. Long's out, obviously long term, and it's a brutal year. You know, you got to get injuries. We've probably crept up a little bit the last few weeks, but we're not alone.
Have you got a full time frame yet on Long?
No, but it's most of the year, if not all. So we'll get something out this week. All right. Thanks, guys.